When we talk about the urethra, there are actually 3 different regions of the urethra within the male's reproductive system. So remember that the urethra is what transports urine from the bladder out through the penis. And so it also functions, however, to transport sperm. So we have these different regions. The first region is called the prostatic urethra. So that is traveling through the prostate gland. The second part is what is called the membranous urethra, and that is traveling through essentially the pelvic floor and the muscles that make up that pelvic floor, the perineum. So we have the prostatic urethra, we have the membranous urethra, and then what we have is what is called the spongy urethra. So there are 3 parts. The spongy urethra is traveling through the erectile tissue. And the erectile tissue is what gives the penis its rigid structure. So unlike most other mammals, humans do not have a bone in the penis. So like dogs, cats, they have bones in their penis that gives it the rigidity. We as humans don't, but we have another mechanism. So when we look at the erectile tissue, we can see that on this diagram. This fills with blood and allows for the penis to become erect. Oh. Now, a lot of times men have problems with having an erection or maintaining an erection, and that is called erectile dysfunction. And you probably have heard of Viagra, because one of the things that Viagra does is it treats erectile dysfunction. So it helps to open up and dilate those blood vessels so that more blood goes into the erectile tissue in order for the erection to be maintained. Erections are really important because the male needs to be rigid, the penis needs to be rigid in order to penetrate the vagina so that the sperm can be ejaculated in the vagina and given the chance of passing up through the female's reproductive tract all the way to the fallopian tubes or the oviduct where fertilization has to take place. So you'll notice that there is some different erectile tissue if we take a cross section of the penis. So we have around the urethra what is called the corpus spongiosum. So we have one corpus spongiosum. So spongy body. So this is around the urethra. Notice that we also have 2 corpora cavernosa. So the corpora, so we have 2 of these, the corpora, the bodies, the cavernosum, the cavernous bodies. So there's 2, and those do not surround the urethra. One of the interesting things about this erectile tissue around the urethra is that sometimes it makes urination difficult when you have an erection. Females also have erectile tissue around their urethra, which also makes when they are stimulated and they have their erectile tissue filled with blood, it also makes it difficult for females to urinate. So when we look at this structure right here, you can see it looks like little caverns. And so that's my corpus cavernosa. And then right around the urethra is the corpus spongiosum. So that is the structure of the urethra and the erectile tissue.